Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Whole Foods Market has Thanksgiving gatherings covered. First things first, reserve your no antibiotics ever fresh whole turkey today, starting at $2.99 a pound. Or go with their organic spiral cut bone-in ham, full of seared-in flavor. For sides, choose Whole Foods Market grab-and-go platters. Go even further and get your whole meal catered. Just order online by November 26th. Get Thanksgiving ready at Whole Foods Market. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means. It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop Black Friday week deals now.
Dropping kata from syllabus. Blasphemy or necessity? Hello, I'm your host, Les Bubka. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt, a podcast that focuses on karate, mental health, and everything in between. If you enjoy our content and would like to support us, best way to do that is to listen to another episode, share with your friends, and leave us a review. All this stuff helps the mysterious algorithm to introduce our podcast to new audience. Thank you for joining me, and let's listen to the episode. Hello, Brian. Thank you for taking time to join in podcast again. It's always a pleasure to have you. And today we've got an important topic, but start with, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Yeah. Pleased to be here again. It's always good to chat to you, Les. So always a pleasure. Yep.
Giving a feed into your podcast, it was interesting to listen today. I was driving to Dojo and back and listened to Karate Ramblings. Is that
That's
correct?
it. Yeah,
about
Kieran
the
and I.
modern equipment. It's interesting.
Yeah. It was good fun to chat with Kieran always. So yeah.
So if you want to know, if you want to know what's going on, head up to a Karate Ramblings and subscribe, listen, because it's worth it.
Thanks. I appreciate that, Les.
And today we're going to be talking about a thing that we both kind of thinking about, testing, trying. It's about how much kata is enough in your syllabus. Brian, go.
How much is too much? Yeah. So it was interesting. It came up on a thread on Facebook that you put up in a group about you was thinking of reducing your kata. I can't remember. Did you say it's about three kata?
Yeah, 3 katas to the brown belt.
But I had a similar thoughts as well, because I just feel for my students, we have the 5 Heian katas or the pinans, teki or naihanchi, whichever you want to call it, basai dai. We also incorporated Ian's ground kata in that as well, and kankudai or kishanku, whichever you want to call it. So it's quite a lot of katas. It's one for each grade. And I always find when we're training in the club, our kata practice is always partner drills. So we don't really do the solo form. So I find the solo form kind of suffers as a consequence. We don't have much time to practice the solo form because it's all partner work. I think if you come to the club, you come to train with people rather than marching up and down in lines or practicing preset moves as a kata is. So, I set that as homework for my students. So I have good students that do their homework, and I have bad students whose dogs chew up their homework. So, and they don't do it, obviously. So it's one of those things. I think for adults, it's not high on their priorities to be doing solo kata. I think they come to karate for many reasons. Predominantly, I think is for the exercise, the partner work, and the fun of it. I think the solo kata is low on the list. I don't know how you find that with yours. If you set homework or
yeah, so we've been talking about it because you'll be training only twice a week, right? Some
The
people
same
coming
for
only
us, yeah.
once a week, and now having maths, and eventually I can teach the curriculum which I wanted. So lots of throws, lots of ground work, not lots of ground work, but escapes from the ground,
Sure.
and it just there's no time to do kata with it. And
Yeah.
I noticed that my students kind of can't focus on so many katas, so we've got even more katas than you because Kyokushin takes katas from from the Shotokan line and Goju and put them together.
Okay.
So you
How
end
many
up
do you have in total
so
then?
we reduced it to 15
Okay.
kind of years ago, but now I'm thinking it's way too much because you've got Goju kata which kind of replicate the same movements or contain the same movements that you're being taught in Shotokan, so it's kind of you doubling on everything, and it just gives you more amount of kata. So now we're gonna be dropping. So we're gonna have three. So we're keeping Naihanchi, Gyakusai, Ichi, and Tensho as fundamentals. So that's
Okay.
gonna be up to brown belt, and from that we're gonna have a Seiin. I'm again because of my kind of grappling preferences. I'm leaning more towards a Goju lineage.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna be skipping the Pinans. Then we're gonna have a Seiyenshin, Seipai, Useshi, and Basai Dai. I think that's it. But for us, it's different as well because from a third dan, you're choosing three katas that you specialize in, and you can drop everything else. So you downgrade from third dan, you specializing in your chosen favorite three katas,
Which
and
is
everything else goes
a good
away.
idea, yeah. Yeah.
So
So coming from a Shotokan background, we had 26 to
yeah.
start with, so I had loads. And I think before I went down the more applied route where, I spent more time doing partner drills. So when I was doing, solo kata and kata for performance, I would compete in tournaments doing kumite and kata.
Mm,
I think I was up to about 22 out of the 26. That's a lot of kata to know, it's a lot of
mm,
kata to practice. And then you had the ones who specialized in for tournaments. Um, but as soon as I went down the practical, I say practical route, when I did old school karate, I guess I don't
mm.
know.
The
Um,
proper traditional karate.
exactly, yeah. So in fact, that's a good way of putting it because proper traditional karate would narrow down the amount of kata they do.
Yeah.
So I went from the 26, and then I thought, okay, we'll do just what's in Karate Do Kyohan, which is
Mhm,
Gichin Funakoshi's book, on karate. So that's got 15 in there, I believe, is
mhm,
what there is. So we went from 26 to 15 from what was in the Kyohan. And then exactly what you said, proper old school karate. So the old instructors would have only specialized in three kata,
mm,
perhaps took a deep dive into those kata. Um, so at the moment, what the core of our syllabus, what my students do is the 5 Hyan katas.
mhm,
We sort of look very deep into those, and you're expected to be able to perform them as partner drills as well as a solo form. Generally, I find the students do better with the partner work than they do the solo
mm.
practice, which should be that way, I guess.
Yeah.
But I still like a good looking kata as well. So I feel, they're not doing the homework. And
Mm,
so there's the first 5 kata. Then we go to Teki or Naihanchi, whichever you want to call it.
mm,
Um, so they're the ones that we really go in for a deep dive. And I kind of took that off of Ian as well. So Ian Abernethy, I
mm.
think that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
his base around the Pinans and then Naihanchi. And I like it. You get a good grounding in combat skills with those kata.
Mm,
But that's still, it's 6 kata, and I think I could even narrow it more. I think going down for my preference and my 3 would have been Naihanchi as a first kata,
mhm,
and then moving on to Basai or Basai Dai
mhm,
and Kankudai.
mm.
So I'm not sure which order I'd have done those 2 in, which way round, but Naihanchi first.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the same because it's nice combatively and it's quite easy to learn. It's got the nice principles in between. That's why we chosen the Naihanchi is the first one for us
yeah,
to learn and focus on it. But saying that I'm dropping the kata, I'm really not dropping the kata. What we decided, so we had our higher grades meeting and we agreed because we've got a nice split. So I've got either advanced students who done karate for about 20, 30, 40, or like Martin, 45 years.
Yeah.
And then we've got a completely fresh people who don't know any kata yet.
Uh-huh.
And so we decided to have a try and get rid of the what do you call it, the grading. So the kata don't so that we're gonna be do kata as a partner drills, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not expecting people to know the kata for a grading,
Yeah.
for
That
a
makes sense.
promotion, right?
So no
So
performance. It's not
yeah, yeah,
performance
yeah, yeah. So
aesthetics. Yeah.
yeah, so and as well, if you, to be honest, if you learn the principles of deciphering the one kata, you can apply that to any, so they can
Exactly. And that
choose,
was
yeah, whichever they
something
want to
Funakoshi said,
learn.
I think, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it's
probably
just fucking movements, isn't it?
exactly. Yeah. 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 That makes good sense. So and like you, I think I wasn't necessarily, so I wanted to sort of narrow it down and take a deeper dive into sort of 3 katas. I wasn't necessarily going to drop everything. I haven't actually decided it yet. So like you as well, I've got some senior grades that we always have an end of year meeting online, just have a few beers and chew the fat, and we see how the previous year's gone and what we want to do going forward. So that was going to be one of the things that I was going to put forward, about narrowing our focus. But it's quite a big change in the syllabus. But unlike you, I teach kids. So for my kids class, I wasn't going to drop the Heian katas. I was going to keep that as the core of their syllabus, but I don't really teach application to kids. So my kids class is sport based. So, we do a lot of kumite type drills, kata for performance, and it's fun. Yeah. So, and some of the stuff we do, so that even though it's sport based, they're still learning throws and pins, but we're not relating it to kata. We're just teaching them it as a sporting thing. So yeah, they was going to keep those. So that's another interesting point that would bring for me, is that anybody who wants to be an instructor would still have to know those kata.
Yeah.
But
then, that's what we've been talking about with my guys, that, those who are interested in teaching, they are kind of people who like digging in kata.
Yes.
So there's no problem for them to either they know already kata and just dig deep in those which are specialized, but remember the form. And we'll see, right? I want to try. I'll give it 5 years to see what happens. I can always change. But just as you, I'm not getting rid of kata for my elderly, because it's fun, right? We've got 10
exactly,
katas. We've got 10 katas there, and there is a studies. I was actually talking today with Dr. John Teachin, and he brought the thing that I totally agree, and science supported, that patterns in forms. I think he was saying about the dancing, but it's pretty much the same thing. If you do it for meditation and stuff, it improves your plasticity of the brain, memory, and physical aspects as well. So I'm keeping the kata for my elderly and people who are interested in digging in them.
Yeah, I can't think. I was talking to somebody about that the other day, and they said exactly the same thing. So yeah, it's good.
It depends for what purpose you want the kata, right? In my club, talking to my students, they want to fight, right? So for me, the priority is so they can do stand up, they can do grapple, and they can escape from the floor. And kata is something extra. And the homework, right? If they don't know kata, they can do it at home, like your guys, if they want to. If they want to learn different katas, free, go and learn, and then try to apply it. And you should have a principle-based approach, so you know the principles behind it, and you can decipher any kata you want.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how it works, isn't it? If you understand a couple in depth, like exactly what you said, those principles will cross over. So yeah, so I think I shared a link to you on this, and people, if they fear that you're going to drop certain kata, or they think like the Heian kata, and this came up in the conversation because I said it was for children, wasn't it? The Heian kata that was designed for children. It's something that I've heard. I've not really researched it. I'm not a historian, but a lot of people say this about the Heian kata. There was, but I've got a lot out of them. I've learned a lot of combative principles from those kata, and exactly like you say, from the Heian kata, I've been able to apply those principles into the other kata. So Yeah,
I don't know either. I'm not a historian, so I don't really care if it's for children or not.
no, not really. Yeah,
There, there are values in it, but if you do Basai Dai and Kanku Dai, I think that pretty much everything is in those katas from the Pinans. Um,
yeah,
but it's
that's what I
just
thought. Yeah,
that is a preference. I decided that I'm gonna drop off the 5 Pinan katas because we simply don't have the time to learn all of them as the patterns.
mm,
That's why I went with the Gyakusai Dai Ichi because it's got pretty much a lot from the Pinans in them. So I got one kata which got kind of lots of different moves in the from the Pinans, and if I have 5 Pinans, that's 5 grades, and I don't have with my guys enough time, and I rather spend like a formal time doing groundwork, escapes, throws, and
yeah.
stuff like that. It's just simply no time.
So that was, yeah. I mean, that was it, the thing as well. So for us, you may be different to me now as well. So we have 9 Q grades.
Mm,
So I thought, 3 kata, you can study that one kata for 3 grades.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, ninth, eighth, seventh Q, you've got your Naihanchi, and by the end of it, you should have a pretty good performance of that kata as well, because you've been
yeah,
doing it for us. It would be for about a year and a half.
yeah.
So
For us, for us, it'll be 3 years because
yeah,
we've got 10 grades, but I'm actually done exception because funny enough, when we moved to the new gym and spent nearly 4 months in there, the I think it's just the comfort and safety of the matting. The level of the guys went through the roof. So I had to first time awarded a bump up half through the year. But I do grading once a year, well assessment once a year,
yeah.
and we bumped them up. But yeah, so it will be 3 years for a kata for us, which is I
Okay,
think enough time doing twice or even once a week. You've got enough time to actually focus on it and do stuff.
yeah. And I've not read the book. I think you may have been loaned it. Was it the
Yes, the 5 years of for a kata.
yeah, and again, I think the old masters, that's what they would have done thereabouts, wouldn't
Mm.
they? 3 to 5 to 10 years, whatever it was. Um,
Yeah, yeah. So
uh,
I've got, for example, for me, I've got my when I joined in my club in Poland, my teacher straight away, I think I was yellow belt, so that'd be seventh Q, said your kata is tensho. So I'm doing it for nearly 23 years, and I,
yeah,
still doing new approach to it, new take on it, new solutions, new things. So it's just if you stuck to something, it just evolves all the time.
yeah, yeah. Whereas, previously, um, and as I suppose at the moment with current students, it's the same. So where we assess or grade every 6 months, if they grade each time, they're learning a new kata every
Mm,
6 months. So it's more than achievable if they do the homework, and
yeah,
if we're training a couple of times a week to get the partner drills in. But I think the focus on just one kata for those 3 grades will give them a much deeper understanding, and hopefully ingrain those principles.
yeah,
Um,
sure.
but like I say, we haven't actually made that decision yet. That's just my thoughts at the moment. So
Yeah, that's good. But
uh,
at least you started a conversation, right? On the
mm,
other opposite side, so I dropped I went to MMA for a couple of years, and I was missing the kata. And my friend, I don't know if you met Marek. You met Marek, haven't you, or not?
yeah.
Yeah. So they have a kempo, and he got rid of his katas. And now, 10, 15 years later, said that his students, those who go into a kind of first dan and brown belt, they're missing the kind of a essence, I would
Yeah.
say. So he's thinking to bring the katas back, so just
So
so they get something to focus on.
yeah, well, I mean, I do believe that kata is the heart of karate, but I
Mm,
think most of the time people are just doing it wrong,
yeah.
because they're just doing the solo performance, and these guys doing the solo performance. Oh, this is the heart of karate, but
Mm,
from my point of view, anyway, at least, I practice kata every time I'm in a dojo,
mm,
but I never do a solo performance. Very, very rarely in the dojo.
yeah.
So we practice kata, twice a week in the dojo. Um, my solo performance will be in the garage or in the kitchen, wherever.
Mm.
But yeah, so yeah, I think that's the point, isn't it? Yeah, so it should be done as a partner drill.
Yeah, so you can do katas. I was talking with John today about it, and I do it very often. I don't even bother to do kata. I do just the visualization because on
Hmm.
certain level, you don't have to do much to keep that going. And from the studies, I don't know if you're aware, there was a study between the basketball players. So 15 of them been throwing
Yeah,
physical ball, and other 15 was doing just mental visualization, and the outcomes was pretty much the same.
yeah,
So
I've heard that study. Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah,
really interesting as well, isn't it?
yeah. So if you
Yeah,
do the kata, you've done it for 20 years, your body knows what to do, so you just rehearse it in your mind. You don't have to do it in
yeah,
stuff. The more you cannot do that when you're not training with a partner, but having a movement flow when you just focus in the head and go through it. But as John pointed out, it depends on how your brain processes, because some people don't see images and stuff. I'm pretty good with visualization, but some people struggle with that. So
yeah,
different
yeah.
takes. But
And I mean, interesting what you said earlier that you're going to trial it, because we've done things like that before. Because I
mm,
dropped gradings before. I thought
yeah,
I thought I'll go down the same route as BJJ do. So
mm,
I'll just award belts when I feel the student
yeah,
has
yeah,
reached that level. And I felt it worked quite well to start with. It was after lockdown. We just thought, oh,
hmm
we'll trial this. And I quite liked it, but then I kind of I wasn't promoting people as quickly as I kind of forgot when they got the last belt, and I thought, are they ready? Well, I know they're ready, but when did I last give them a belt? And so I actually, this year we went back to, so which like you say, you can just change your mind if you think, oh, this wasn't working, I prefer doing kata. You can always go back to it. So
yeah,
we went back to gradings, and I found the pressure of a grading, being in front of a panel. This year when the seniors first walked into the dojo, when all the tables were set out, it was on a separate day to the normal training, and they walked in and went, "Oh, this real feels pressure. This feels weird
mm,
because I don't like it," which is good, because you kind of want to put them under
yeah,
a bit
yeah.
of stress, So
Yeah, I was trying different things as well. So I dropped completely gradings in 2008 to 2012, I think. It was cool, but it was missing. You could see the people motivation drop off quickly
mm,
because there is no visible kind of progression.
yeah, yeah,
So we got back to those. Now I'm doing. It's now what, seventh year. I'm doing grading once a year, but it's just assessment. So you got a month of assessment, but I'm watching them all the time,
yeah,
and we're doing a display for the downgrades. Were in front of a commission. So like Marek coming from Poland, Tommy meant to be last time, haven't been. Don or other friends from different countries coming, and they giving me feedback. It's kind of
which is
more for me,
yeah, well, it's
if
important
they,
as well to have
yeah,
a pair of outside eyes
yeah,
on the panel. Otherwise, you're in your own little bubble, aren't you?
exactly. So
And
so they
you
give
can think
they
everything's great.
yeah they give me a feedback on kind of my teaching, because if they're doing something wrong, and each of them doing the same thing wrong, it's something wrong with my teaching, not them learning, right? So it seems to be working. My guys like it this way, so I don't know. I might change mine in the future, but at the moment we're doing. Maybe it's easier for me because I do it once a year, so we've got a set time. Although this year we're gonna change time because my wrestling coach hopefully be healthy enough to come over, and Marek from Kempo coming over as well. So we're gonna do the seminar and have a promotions then. So we're gonna be 2 months earlier than usual.
Okay, I'll keep my eyes peeled for that.
Mm.
So, yeah, yeah. So I was just looking at the time, mate. So it's not, it's not that I'm bored.
That's
No,
all
just
right.
seeing what time we started. Um, so yeah, I think, yeah, from a personal point of view, I've got to chat with my guys about it. I think with the guys, I've already spoke briefly, but we'll have a proper meeting. But yeah,
Mm.
Kieran was in favour of it, but I think Kieran's more into his combat
Yeah,
sport at the moment. He's a young guy,
yeah.
doesn't, yeah. Whereas Luke is a bit more traditional, and I think he was
Mm.
quite keen on it. Really, I think he wants the conversation rather
Mm.
than to jump in, which is what it's what you do, isn't it? Yeah, you have a good talk
Yeah,
about it with your seniors. Um, but
but
personally, at the moment, in my head, I can only see positive things from it,
mm, yeah,
from
I
dropping it.
think I think dropping Kata down, I wouldn't get rid of it completely. 'Cause like I said, most of the people who I know who got rid of it, Either replaced it with drills. So like
which is
Ashihara
kata.
went,
Yeah.
yeah, Ashihara karate went completely away from the traditional kata, and they have fighting drills put together into the kata. It's very interesting. I dropped
Yeah.
you a link. They got a really nice, smooth transitions and stuff, so I like it. But yeah, I'm gonna keep traditional because still with karate, and I think it kind of deserves it to be in there, and it's our
Yeah.
responsibility to preserve some, at least some of them.
Yeah, I agree. But also, because I've talked with Kieran about this before, that kata in most other arts that do kata is a two-person drill, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think it's only really karate that
Mm.
have kata as a solo performance.
I think kung
So
fu as well, right?
yeah, you're probably right. Actually, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And actually, we came up with this as well. Muay Thai, is it Muay Baran? Is it
My
the
Boran, yeah,
yeah. So all right, forget what I just said.
yeah.
But no, I mean judo have paired kata.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
where I do aikido and aikido jiu-jitsu, what they call their partner work, they call kata.
Mm.
I assume kendo or their partner drills is just kata. You know, so this is where again, I go back to the point where I think majority of karate people do it wrong. You know,
Mm.
it should be it should be partner work. So yeah, like you say,
Yeah,
if you're doing your partner work, you're not really dropping kata.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
just the focus on examination or grading is just, why patterns should be so important. If they can apply it and don't remember a pattern, it depends what the outcomes you're looking for, right? I'm looking for a combative so they can handle themselves, and I think
exactly.
Kata's got a good self-defense solutions in there. So do it as a partner work, and then if they want to do practice at home, then practice at home, right?
They get extra points
Hmm, exactly.
on their grading.
Yeah.
Right.
And for those who are interested in our approaches, we're gonna go and have a seminar, don't we?
Yeah, if only I could remember the date. It was March the 15th, maybe. I'll have a
I
look.
think so. Let me have a look on the. It's in the
Yeah.
calendar, so
But basically, it'll be our approach to Kumite, won't it?
yeah,
Yeah, it's the
15th.
15th, Saturday the
Yeah.
15th in Cranfield. So
Hmm.
we're moving away from Guildford, Les.
Yep.
You're,
And
you're,
Brian had a lovely name, so if you guys wanna, let me just find what was the names.
well, there was a few different, yeah, they can vote on it, can't they? So yeah, sparring for longevity
Yeah,
was one, sparring for life, sparring, don't be a dick, I
yeah,
think, which I think you quite liked.
yeah.
I can't remember what was the other one.
And the building dreams for spar with.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Um,
think we both have that approach. Just like, don't be a dick. You know, I think
mm,
because student safety is priority. You know, so when people put the gloves on, it can be really nerve wracking for some people.
mm,
Um, and particularly when you're doing different skill sets. So if you're predominantly striking, that's what you're used to doing. So what we're hoping to do when we do our seminar is introduce some locks and throws, incorporating it with the striking, or just doing some grappling and locking and throwing. But if it's not something you do regularly, you might again, it's, be out of your comfort zone
mm,
and feel nervous about doing it. So hopefully we can do it in a well, not hopefully, we will do it in a safe way
yeah,
to hopefully avoid injuries, because it's like we say, it's about longevity, isn't it?
yeah.
To keep things going. Yeah. So yeah, put some suggestions in for the seminar names, or vote on the one you prefer.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because I really like your approach and that combination of the joint locks. We're doing quite a lot of the joint locks as well in our system, so it would be nice to see kind of different approaches. And I like more, I'm feeling last seminar I was saying that we're teaching in a very similar way, independently arriving at
Yeah.
similar conclusions. So I'm really looking forward to be interesting and how many things I can steal from you and
Well, this is
put
it.
it in my.
It's the whole thing is it sharing ideas and learning from each other. So
Mm,
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. So it will be good. So get yourself booked on it, all
yeah,
your
soon,
listeners.
soon, soon, soon you will make the an event, don't you?
I will. Yeah, I'll get that sorted this week, because now the venue has been confirmed, which is at like I said earlier, Cranfield University in Bedfordshire. It's not far off the M1, maybe junction 14, but we can look at that later. So yeah, it's very accessible. It's a good venue. We'll have some mats down, obviously, for the throw-in and the lock-in. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And we've talked together once or twice. Well, once we did a joint seminar at your place. We've done karate for mental health.
Yeah,
so we've done a few things, and it's always a good day, and it's always a pleasure to share the mat with such a skilled martial artist, Les. So
thank you.
Looking forward to
blush.
it. Yeah. So that's coming up, March 15th.
March 15th. It would be awesome. You must book, or I'm gonna find you and bunker you.
With your 3 kata.
Yeah. I recently been on the seminar with Tommy Joe. I haven't take part of it, but Tommy and Ian was doing a grappling for self-defense sort of thing. What's your feedback on this one? I really enjoyed it from the sidelines.
Yeah, it was very good. So yeah, I think the theme was what happens when Uki fights back. I think was the theme of it. Okay. I mean, it was brilliant from both sides. So Ian and Tommy are both fantastic instructors. I think Tommy might have wore everybody out in his first session. he's got a lot of energy, hasn't he? And he brings a lot of energy to the room. But I mean, I've trained a lot with Tommy recently. So I did his World War II Combatives instructors course.
Oh, how was that?
It was really, really good. Yeah. So there were some really good guys on there. So I hooked up with some people, and again, going out, I'll be training with one of the guys who does sambo. Barry, he's a good guy down in Watford. But it's just going out and networking with other people, and learning from other people. But yeah, the World War II Combatives. I went to Denmark to go and visit Jan, and Tommy was there, so obviously we trained. I stole his bed. I didn't really. But there was a big thing about that. The thing with him. So I've trained a lot with him recently, and every single time I've trained with him, he's got that energy. He just brings the place alive, and he makes everybody just want to train hard. So I cannot recommend the guy enough. And he does some very good stuff. He knows his stuff. He's well researched. So it's good. And it's the same, so the seminar at the weekend is the same for Ian. Everybody I'm sure who listens to your podcast knows Ian, and I'd imagine a lot of people have trained with him. So he's always bringing a lot to the table with his experience and his knowledge. And, he's a great storyteller as well, isn't he? So he will always captivates his audience. I think he probably gauged everybody was a bit tired that day, so he gave us some extra stories, I think. But he did some good drills as well, some multiple drills, protecting others and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really, really good.
Yeah, I like his games with the old Okinawan hangers, the washing hangers, or what do you call them?
The pegs. That was really good. It was like a preemptive striking drill, so it's like, I think the objective was to not stay on the line, because I think a lot of people, when they preemptive strike, they stand there and hit. So it's move and hit, which is a really good principle. And it was about engaging in a conversation with your partner, and as soon as Tommy blew his whistle, is to react first. I had done that in Denmark, so I had a good idea what was going on. But it was a really, really good drill. Very good. Yeah. So
it was good to see. So as we said, that it's nice to go. Even I've been overtrained a little bit. I felt that my shoulders are not happy, so I didn't train. But seeing from the side, the drills and the stuff, so you can take from Ian and stuff, and build in on, and Tommy to build it into your own club and curriculum. So I'm gonna steal a couple of ideas from both of them.
I mean, what was nice about them two teaching together, you could see when Tommy was sort of teaching, you could see Ian from the sidelines sort of nodding his head, agreeing with a lot of what Tommy said, and vice versa. When Ian was teaching, you could see Tommy was agreeing. So, like you say, good principles, good martial arts, because Tommy doesn't say he's a karateka, but I think he secretly is. Yeah, we all know he is.
I said on one of the posts, he steals from karate. Don't use karate names, so the people from karate can steal the stuff to call it the karate.
That was it. That was on something I said as well, wasn't it? Because I remember that. It was very funny. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was good to see them in agreement with a lot of the stuff that they were saying. So if either we're all wrong or we're all singing from the same. We're all doing it right, which is good.
It's all fucking movements, isn't it?
Always is. Yeah, always. I'm
Yeah,
trying not to swear, you see, on your podcast, Les. So.
that's okay. It's for adults mostly.
Yeah,
So yeah, I've been speaking about not networking. So my son is doing BJJ in one of the local clubs, and they do every month a open mat when people can come in. And it's not. I thought it's like come in and spar. But what they do is like you don't have to spar if you don't want to. You can chat, you can try new techniques, you
okay.
can think. So it's not just for sparring, it's for bringing the community together so people networking and can do different things, right? If somebody is injured or doesn't want to roll, he can chat about techniques with a coach or friend or whatever. And parents can roll with the kids, even if they have no experience. So I was gonna try to replicate that, best way to steal stuff from other
For,
people than
yeah,
develop
yeah,
yourself. So we're doing our first open mat in that format that you can pop in, not necessarily spar. You can talk about kata. You can do kata if you want to. You can just sit down and have a chat and have a coffee with people, um, or you can do sparring. So you're gonna be doing all, and hopefully it's gonna be a monthly networking thing that people from different dojos can come in and make that community. And I think in karate is too much division, right? I spoke with Daljit. You know Daljit, right? Daljit
yes, yeah.
Bilbil.
He's not far from me
Uh,
actually. I've not met
yeah,
him
yeah,
yet,
yeah.
but yeah, he's in
So he,
Bedfordshire, I think. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So he done and he sent an emails for his seminar to local clubs, and he had
yeah,
quite a good response from people. I done the same in my area, and I had two clubs responding. One said, "We're not gonna be here," and
right,
the other one was a very nice guy. Said that, "Oh, sorry, Saturday I'm teaching, so I won't be able to join the seminar.
yeah,
But keep me in the loop." But there's like 30 around clubs, none bothered to network.
yeah.
Everybody's like, I don't want to lose students, right? So
Well, I
I
think
try to
that's
break that out.
possibly the biggest fear, isn't it?
Mm.
From some instructors, they might not let this, so that you might get some people turn up, but they don't want their instructor to find out. But I think
Yeah,
it's a brilliant idea. I mean, it's a really, really good idea because it should be a community rather than
yeah,
um, individual dojos staying in their own safety bubble. So
mm.
I really like the idea. Except in January, I'm hooking
Yeah,
up with the
yeah, yeah.
Sambo guy, but February, if all goes well.
At the moment, we've got 7 people expressing interest and saying, and it's actually from the kickboxing,
Oh, okay,
uh, which I know them. They took a few seminars with us, so hopefully that's gonna be interesting. And there's a few other people who expressed interest, but till they don't turn up, I'm not.
yeah,
I stop getting excited about stuff.
no, it's a very good idea though, really good idea. So yeah,
And plus, we can help the gym because, as you've seen, there's few things needs to be done to the gym, and the owner is struggling with the financial side because it's such a huge building.
it is a massive place. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
you
he
sort of,
does it for love, so he doesn't want to charge his students a lot. So we're trying to
yes.
figure out the way how to
There's
get
some good
more.
people in the world, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So what we're gonna do is we just I'm not taking any money from it. We're gonna cover the cost of the mats, so using the hole, and the rest, if you've got more people, is gonna go towards the fixing the roof and showers and stuff like that. Although one shower is working already, so
nice. It's
so
unusual in the
it
UK
yeah.
karate club to have a changing room in the shower.
Yeah, so it's going in the right direction, and plus I need to put a feed that we're gonna have a defibrillator hopefully on site. If people keep donating, we are at
Yeah,
£500 now, so halfway.
and
Um,
that's a really important thing as well. Actually, I don't know if you saw there was a story on McDojo Life
yeah, yeah, yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
yeah, 'cause there was a guy who had a heart attack in the UK. It was as well, wasn't it? I
Mm.
think. Um,
And they say managed to save him,
yeah,
luckily. So,
the
but
CPR wasn't it? So it wasn't
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
defibrillator at the time, but then they raised money to get a defibrillator. I
yeah.
think.
So,
Yeah,
so, so as my friend and the coach from BJJ said, we are in a right brackets to be mostly in danger. So a student's gonna be using defibrillator on us, and we don't want to have a
Yeah.
mouth to mouth from them.
No,
Just
no.
connect me to electricity, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
No, I like the idea.
if anybody would like to donate, we've got a GoFund page, and again, if we raise more money than we need, it's gonna go the top up gonna go towards fixing the gym.
Yeah, and these places need help as well, don't they? Because we got
Yeah,
a local boxing gym up near me, and the guy just puts his heart and soul into it. You know, he works a full-time job and he's running the gym in the evenings. He's at boxing shows at the weekend. People probably don't see half of the stuff he does behind the scenes. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
and it takes a lot for people to run these things for the community. So yeah, if to get support is always
hopefully we've got another good connection with the council, so I'm hopefully bringing the projects there, few projects in there, and maybe get some money for refurbishment. But we'll see. You know, it's like I said, until he's not signed the contracts and everything, it's just in the air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's you need it on paper, and you know it's there. Don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm sure it's gonna be good. I'm hoping that the open mat gonna be thriving, and we're doing a test one. I think I'm gonna do test 3 months. If they're gonna be interest, that's great. If not, we're just gonna be doing maybe less of them. But
Yeah.
we'll see. You know, you have to start somewhere and grow it bigger.
You got to try these things, eh? Got to try them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know how much time you've allotted for this, Les, but before we finish, can I just mention I'm doing something else next year with first time teaching
Keep going.
with Lee Taylor next year. So
Cool.
in Terry's Magnificent Seven.
Mm.
So, you know, I know you're teaching there twice.
Yep.
So you're two of the seven.
One's with the Tommy, one with the Tommy, and one my own, which is
So yeah,
much appreciated. I think last time was an unexpected success when I was teaching in that judo club, and as well, Terry does it. All the funding and the income from that goes towards that judo club, which is amazing from Terry.
yeah. Again, it's one of those places that needs the money, isn't it? So these communities, these centres for the community, they don't. Yeah, they need the help, all the help they can get, really. So yeah, I'm doing a kata-based pad drills with Lee Taylor. So if anybody's seen Lee's stuff, kind of inspired me to do pad drills initially, you know, because he's really good at what he does. They're all sort of reactive drills that he does. So like I say, it inspired me, and I picked up a lot of my stuff from the combatives guys that I train with as well. So I think Lee will be doing his Hyan Kata or Pinan, and I'll do Teki. So, and you've experienced a little flavour of that, haven't you, Les? When I taught down at your place,
I really like it. I done my drills based on what you've been teaching and what I interact with you, and I think it's really interesting. It's another level to the kata that you rather spend than doing it solo.
With a partner, exactly. Yeah. So it's pad drills, making it live. You know, it's the same as the kata should be anyway. So trying to make it live. So yeah, that's something else. I think that's all I've got on the books, and hopefully the Bunkai Bash will happen, and then I'll probably be teaching there if that happens. So,
yeah. And as well as we're talking about Lee, if anybody's interested in a really nice way of utilizing that pad drills for the Pinan katas, he's got a really good course online, isn't it?
I believe he has, yeah.
That you can purchase and really nicely filmed, because you've got the cameras from the top and you've got cameras from the person who had been hit. So it's very interestingly done. Interestingly, it's nice.
It's good. Yeah, that's it.
Giving up on my English.
Yeah. But so I bought the first DVD that he released with the Hyan Kata. So obviously it's evolved a lot since then, and it's good.
Okay, should we wrap it up because it's late at night?
I think so. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate your coming here and sharing your thoughts and exploring how much is too much in kata. And I hope you're gonna have a good conclusion with your team, and you choose the best way forward.
I'll report back. Yeah, but thanks for having us on, Les. Always a pleasure.
Cool. Speak to you later.
You. Cheers.
See you later. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.